Ladies and gentlemen, I really would like to wish you a very warm welcome to Pembroke Dock, to Pembrokeshire and to the Bridge Innovation Centre here today. Thank you so many of you for coming. We are fully booked, oversubscribed in fact, and it's testimony to the success of this event that you're here today and continue to support it. So for those of you who've travelled from far and wide, from all corners of the United Kingdom and Europe, thank you very much indeed for being with us. I'd like to also thank our sponsors, specifically the Welsh Government, Pembroke Port, Aquaterra, Marine Space and Burgess Salmon, who've helped really to make this event possible today. You'll notice that we've also specially arranged the weather. Those of you who were here last year will also remember similar weather to that as we have today. I can vouch, however, from experience through the winter, that it's not always like this. In my day job with Tidal Energy, you'll know that we're preparing, or we've been waiting to put our device into the water. We're still waiting primarily because of the weather. So we're hoping for better things soon, and this is a good start. So the aim for today is really to update you all and to allow you to participate in discussions on the current position with respect to marine renewable energy here in Wales. We'll give you insights into the UK and European perspectives at the same time, but focusing on Wales, there is a lot going on, and you will see and be exposed to that during the course of today. We've got active developers like Minesto, Marine Power Systems, ourselves, and of course the coup d'etat, I think, was with Tidal Lagoon Power yesterday securing a spot in the budget speech, which is quite outstanding. So well done you, and really helping to put some focus into marine renewables in Wales. We've got the demonstration zones in the north and the south to look forward to, and of course we've got, and there might be some link here to why so many of you are here, we've got European structural funds designated to support the marine industry in Wales over the forthcoming 5 to 6 years. And Carl James from the Welsh European Funding Office is here today to talk a little bit about that. So our programme will begin with a series of updates. We have a keynote address to look forward to from the Minister, Carl Sargent. The Minister will arrive in half an hour and basically split up this first session. There are question and answer sessions through the day. There are open panel discussions. And really what we're trying to do is to facilitate it being a day for you to participate in and understand what is happening here in Wales. I hope we've got the setup right. I think we'll give you the opportunity to give us some feedback in due course. But without more ado, let's crack on with the programme. And first up is David Jones, wherever he's gone. Where is he? He's here. Enter stage right. David, who is the Project Director of Marine Energy Pembrokeshire, the Chief Executive of the Pembrokeshire Coastal Forum, and David is here to just give us an insight into Marine Energy Pembrokeshire and how it is supporting the wave and tidal industry. David.
Thank you, Martin. He talked about the weather then. This is the day where we do a bit of a cloud dance. You can see the sun obviously comes in through the roof here. So yeah, sadly no clouds today, just pure sunshine. I'm going to crack on with the presentation. This is where we steal 10 minutes of the programme to tell you a little bit about Marine Energy Pembrokeshire, what we've been up to. I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief background to MEP for those of you who are not familiar with us, talk a little bit about our work plan and the progress to date, just to let you know that's shaped by industry as well, which is really, really important for us. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on an economic benefit report that we've just completed. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a Welsh Marine Energy Research report and also some consenting guidance and recommendations that we have for Welsh Government and Natural Resources Wales coming up. So that's who we are, basically, a partnership between technology developers, the supply chain, academia and the public sector, working in collaboration. All our members are up there with the logos. I hope you can see them. What we have noticed since 2010 is a real increase in Pembrokeshire and in Wales. We have over 20 wave and tidal developers now on the working group, both third-party managers of demonstration zones, which is really important for us. And whilst a lot of what we do is regional, our work stream takes us pan-Wales as well. So current work streams, promoting Welsh capability, that's something that we get out there and do and try and attract business to Wales. We do that via conferences, marketing, meetings, allowing developers access to the MRES. And recently we've extended our working group with G-Wave from America, Canigi from Australia, Atlantis, Seabase and 40 South Energy. The other thing we have to do is develop UK collaborative partnerships. That's really important for Wales to link into the rest of the UK. We have an MOU with South West Marine Energy Park and also with Wave Hub. And that's not just a piece of paper that we sign, it's a genuine work together attitude, and we're developing an Atlantic area and a WEFO bid together as well. We're also working with Anglesey Energy Isle and Mentor Morn, and supporting the Pembrokeshire Wave Demonstration Zone. Claire's here this afternoon to tell you a little bit more about that. And we provide bespoke business support as well, most recently for Pembroke Port, where we've looked at basically wave and tidal technology developers and what their requirements are from a port perspective. I mentioned an economic benefit report that we're about to launch next week. There was a feeling that the sector was already creating jobs and growth in Wales, and perhaps that hadn't been captured before. So there's two key points here. The first one is this is before commercialisation. We looked at tidal stream, wave and tidal range. And between all of the members there, Welsh marine energy companies have invested 34.5 million into the economy so far. If you include that with Welsh academia and research, the number goes to 45.4 million. So significant sums of money before commercialisation. Every £1 of public support has leveraged in £3 of private sector investment. And that's helped create 174 person years of employment. The other important thing to note is these are direct impacts. If you consider wider supply chain gross value effects, recent research in Wales has suggested that with each £10 million of investment, that is worth an extra 2.5 million and 75 person years into the local economy. Of that, 50% of supply chain has come from Wales, from the tidal sector, 60% from Wave. Tidal Energy Limited, I know Dee's going to go into a bit more detail on the UK level this afternoon, but of 49 principal contracts that TEL secured, 22 are from Welsh supply chain companies. This is really important as well. Tidal Lagoon, Swansea Bay, Marine Power Systems and Minesto all aiming for a minimum of 50% in their supply chain moving forward. We're going to circulate the report next week. We do have a few copies with us today, so if you want one, we can probably sell you one. They're the benefits to date. Regeneris also did some potential benefit work, and I'm going to whiz through this really quickly. They looked at a number of scenarios. The first scenario is what would a 30 megawatt wave installation look like in Wales and a 30 megawatt tidal stream installation. It would create 70 million of GVA, 2,000 person years of employment, and then once you go into the generation stage, an extra 2 million of GVA and 50 full-time equivalents. If you go into a 1 gigawatt, what does 1 gigawatt of marine energy look like in Wales? They suggest it could happen in the next 20 years, 840 million of GVA, bringing 1.5 billion of investment, and this would help support 24,000 person years of employment effect. Martin's already mentioned Tidal Lagoon, Swansea Bay, approximately 1,900 jobs in construction and an annual operation of 181 full-time equivalent jobs, so a huge impact on the Welsh economy. Our resource, the MRES, it was a £1 million research study done by RPS. They suggested that we have the capacity of between 1.5 and 6.4 gigawatts. Another one of our work streams, we've been looking at marine energy research. And it's just as the larger research programmes are coming to a close, there's also increased industry presence in Wales. So now is the perfect time to just have a little look at that, really. And just look at potentially what steps we could take to maximise future research. We did this over a number of work packages. The first one was about identifying the research to date and improving accessibility. So we have built a website with great help from the Welsh academic community to actually populate this. So we've looked at the name of the project, the species, what it was used for, whether it was used for collision risk, entanglement, habitat impacts, displacement. Also, what that was used for, whether it was used for impact monitoring and environmental impact assessment, what project that was relevant to, the output title and the output type. We've also done that for site characterization and engineering, and also cross-cutting themes. We have now over 200 marine energy projects into this database. So yeah, it just shows the scope that's been going on in Wales. The second work package, this was about providing research collaboration review. We released 2 questionnaires, one specifically for the industry and regulatory and one for academics. The third work package was basically looking at future research priorities and coordinations. We're going to launch the report at the end of this month. Just some high-level recommendations. It was about ensuring that database is kept up to date, and perhaps all future public-funded research in Wales, that should be part of their funding conditions, that it gets put into databases so it's publicly available for the whole of the industry, not just Wales. Ensure those databases are available and link into wider UK research, and formally establish a sector-led marine energy research group. And this could help screen project proposals and develop a framework and just ensure that there's links into wider UK schemes, particularly ORGIP. And again, something that came out there, that the huge potential demonstration zones have as acting as a research base. Briefly then, moving on to consenting, we also have a subgroup, a consenting subgroup, and people that sit on that, NRW, the licensing and advisory arms, energy policy, the Crown Estate and technology developers. And we have developed some consenting recommendations that will be sent to Welsh ministers and Natural Resources Wales in April. Just some of the high-level recommendations, and that's about including stronger policy support to enable NRW to consent using survey, deploy and monitor, much like they do in Scotland. Just make sure there's sufficient resources to engage with project developers at a pre-application stage, but also throughout the whole process. What's really important for the sector is to have a clear framework and timetable for that process, and an increased focus on understanding the marine environment to help inform regulators and decision makers and not having developers carry that burden. We have also, as MEP, released an interactive marine energy guidance for Wales. This is a step-by-step process that walks you through the whole consenting process in Wales. Just an example of that is if you click on EI screening, you get some information of what you would expect or what Natural Resources would expect to see in your screening opinion. And just moving quickly onto scoping, again, it tells you all about what your scoping opinion should contain, but also previous submissions as well. So you can download TEL's previous submissions, marine current turbines previous submissions, and there's also further information there from Natural Resources. I'm just conscious of time. I'm going to leave you with one slide. I'm sure we're going to pick up on this throughout the day, basically, but why Wales? Not only have we got a significant resource, but we've got a mix of that resource as well. Carl James this afternoon is going to tell you about the huge potential for that 80.3 million prioritising marine energy in Wales. We have world-class ports, skills and energy sector supply chain, and they're linked closely to where the resource areas are. 2 demonstration zones in Wales. James and Claire are going to talk to you about those. Relatively good grid access, world-class research, government support, and a collaborative approach. So that's a bit of a whistle-stop tour of what Marine Energy Pembrokeshire have been up to in the last year. Thank you.